Hey there, projectors. Thanks for joining me for your intuitive reading. If you're new to the channel, I do my readings based on the 5 human design types. I use tarot, oracle cards, and sometimes runes, and my readings are non-date specific. So if this message resonates with you, then it is your message at whatever time you are viewing it. All right, let's get started. So there is a sense right now that you've gone through a huge shift, and most of us have at this point with what's going on in the world. And this time that you've had to really shift gears, to really take you out of your regular routine, is really serving a huge purpose that maybe you can't even see at this point, but it's really significant. This is Lace the Moon's daughter. She talks about illumination. It's like at times the darkness, the unknown can be scary, but there isn't a shred of fear here. It's just pure play, playfulness. And there's a sense of self-assurance with this illumination. That there's really like nothing really to worry about. It gives you this new secret edge. So the other 2 cards that come out, this makes me think here, the 4 of Arrows, Rest, that this came at exactly the right time for you. You may not even have known how burnt out you were. That you really needed this time to rest, to restructure, to go within. Here we have the Queen of Stones, Bear. So with these 2, one thing, it's funny that I'm doing this reading today because this morning I went and I ran some errands, and I've had this song in my head all morning, and the words that just I keep repeating are, I'm in a chrysalis and I'm snowed in, which is really funny because usually bears hibernate in the winter. And what comes out of a chrysalis? Butterfly. So there's a feeling that you are starting to edge out of the cave to see the light of day. You're starting to come out of the chrysalis and see that how much you've transformed. That you aren't the same as you were when you went in. And you're something far grander. The other thing about bear coming out of hibernation, when spring and summer comes, they've had to, they're not, they don't need to consume a lot in the winter, because they're sleeping. So, but when they come back out, there is this abundance in nature of resources for them to replenish their system, to give them that new energy as they go out into the world. So that's what's about to be available to you. We're moving away from a time of struggle for you, of the cold, of the winter, of you being alone and having to, really find your way to safety. Protect yourself, preserve yourself. You're shifting out of the survival mode. And there's a feeling that you have this renewed focus. Focus on what you want to learn, what you want to teach, what you want to achieve, what you think could be your legacy in this lifetime, what you're here to do. Especially with this, there's clear difference in age here. It's like, what are you passing on? Something sacred. And right now, as we have all these planets in retrograde, Venus being one of them, one thing that we are spending time doing, probably even if you don't realize it, is we're reviewing what we value. We are taking stock of what we have, what we had, what we don't have anymore, and really deciding what is necessary and what we desire moving forward. So that when it's time, when you have that green light, when you're coming full out of this chrysalis, it's much easier to manifest what you want and move forward. With the Guardian of the Gate coming up, this is you nearly being there. You're at a point of no return, you're at the threshold. There is, to me, it feels a bit like you've peeked behind the veil. Like there's something you couldn't see before. And so you're being initiated into this new insight. You're moving towards a sense of clarity. There is, this has been a very, it could have been a very cloudy time for you. Quiet, inward, but you're not getting all the answers. You will be moving closer to the answers. Some truths may emerge about you or someone else or a situation. There is a little bit of energy around, it has sort of this coming out of the closet vibe, which doesn't necessarily, I'm not referring to your sexuality. I mean, if it could be, but I mean that in a more general sense, that that you're taking off a mask. Like maybe, let's say you had some corporate job prior to the pandemic and you were forced, maybe you lost your job, maybe, you know, you had a real tower moment and things got shifted and crumbled, and so you've been in this state of survival and hibernation, and what you've uncovered is who you kept hiding. Like you wore this mask to work, maybe. You wore this mask all the time and you got so comfortable with it that you thought it was really you, but it's not. And yeah, with this, it's a fairy, I guess, but has a very angelic presence. It's like you're uncovering your true nature and you're ready to face the world without that mask, without that makeup, without that disguise, to better assimilate. You're moving towards being ready to come out as yourself. There is a sense that you're getting more clues as to what you want to dedicate excuse me, what you want to dedicate your time, your energy, your life to. Like you've gotten a glimpse of why you're here. And as you're accessing this sort of, you're being initiated, you're finding this illumination, things, insights, wisdom is flowing through you more automatically. And lastly, with the Great Bear coming out, Great Bear, he's like he's the guardian of death and rebirth. This cave, it's like you've been in there. You know, it's funny that we have two bears popping up just to make sure we hammer home that message. So and as you emerge from this, you see there's these little stone pillars, the gateway, threshold. It's you emerging is something sort of magical. There's something about you reaching he's not only the guardian of death, but he's the guardian of the other world. So like that's what you've been able to access, is something beyond the three-dimensional existence that you've been used to. You're accessing something higher, something greater. I think that's all I have for you today, projectors. But it was quite a lot. So it sounds like this is a really good time for you to be coming coming to some realization about what you want to do with life and what you want to dedicate yourself to, what you want to pass on, and who you want to be, whether it's in the comfort and privacy of your own home or you're out in the world, being very public, deciding what that looks like, and really uncovering and unearthing and sharing who you are and everything you bring to the table. Sounds great to me. So let me know what you think, if this resonates with you, and I will see you next time. Take care.